Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Atlanta Falcons Today. Plenty of Falcons news and rumors coming up today in today's video, just a couple of minutes. First though, we have a mailbag video coming up this weekend, so make sure you guys get your questions submitted today down below. If you've never asked a question for our mailbag videos, it's very simple. Use the hashtag Falcons in your comment, then to ask your question, hit send, and then boom, you're good to go. So make sure you guys are subscribers and go down below and ask the question using the hashtag Falcons. I'll answer it and pull it up for a mailbag video in the next couple of days. All right, it's Monday here. Let's go and jump in the latest Falcons news and rumors as the Falcons are off today. They're letting a lot of their kids go ahead, or a lot of the players take their kids to school. It's the first day of school, which is crazy. It's like August 2nd or whatever it is, but in Atlanta, first day of school for a lot of kids. And so they're off today. Practice tomorrow. We'll have pads, but there's a lot of Falcons news that we need to go ahead and jump into. We'll start with Battle Right Tackles, we say. You know the movie Battle LA back in the day? We're going Battle RT today because right now there are some interesting developments at the right tackle position for Matt Ryan's offensive line. So first off, Kaleb McGary has been placed on the PUP list. This happened a little bit later last week. We come here on a Monday with the update. They still have not told us what the injury is. Now, I'm not sure if Arthur Smith's going to tell us because technically during training camp, you don't have to reveal what the injuries are. But much like Matt Gono, who was placed on the PUP list, was seen in a neck brace going into training camp, Kaleb McGary, the starting right tackle, is also on the PUP list with an undisclosed injury. Now, McGary is expected to be back soon, or soon-ish is what I was hearing over the weekend, but we still don't know how long it's going to be. Like, the PUP list is not something that you go on if you're going to miss like a day or a couple of days. It's if you're going to miss a couple of weeks. And so not exactly sure when McGary is going to go ahead and come back, but this is not a good, I would say it's not good news for the current right tackle situation, which is seeing Jaylen Mayfield, the rookie, as the starting right tackle over the past couple of days in training camp. You'll see him out there on Tuesday, tomorrow, as the starting right tackle, which with pads on. So he's going to get pass rushers, and we're going to really find out just how good or bad Mayfield could potentially be. But the report is early on, Mayfield has struggled a little bit. More on that in a second. Here was the AJC on their detailed information on the Kaleb McGary situation. I kind of joke about detailed information because no one really knows. So here's their quote. With McGary, who has an undisclosed injury, and last season's backup swing tackle Matt Gono out, rookie Jillian Mayfield played right tackle with the first unit during the open practice. McGary cut his sack allowed from 13.5 to 1.5 last season, but he still struggled overall. He had a 58.2 grade. It's an F grade overall, according to Pro Football Focus. McGary must cut down on missing his blocks. His blown block rate was 4th highest among right tackles, according to Football Outsiders. He'll have to compete to retain his starting spot, end quote. So, he has to compete, and obviously he's not out there to compete right now because he is injured, and so Jillian Mayfield is the current starter at right tackle. Here's the deal. You should want McGary to start. Like, I need to emphasize this. There are people who are excited because now Jillian Mayfield gets a chance to maybe win the right tackle job. No, you should want Kaleb McGary to start. You saw that in the AJC article. He brought his sacks down, his sacks allowed from 13.5 to 1.5 last year. Like, he got a lot better from his rookie year in 2019 to what it was in 2020 last year, and now it's supposed to be even better here in 2021. You want McGary to start. You got to hope this is not a big, long injury. This is not something that's going to keep him out for, actual regular season games. Preseason is one thing, and it stinks, but regular season games would be absolutely terrible, in my opinion, because you want McGary to start. Not just because he's supposed to be better, because he's a former first-round draft pick. You don't want your first-round draft picks to lose out the starting right tackle job by year 3 in their rookie contract. Like, I like Jaylen Mayfield. I thought it was a good pick. He's a backup, though, and should be a backup, because very rarely do mid-round right tackles who start actually turn out to be good, because it's so overwhelming to go against defensive ends, and really good ones for that matter, each and every week your rookie year in the National Football League. So McGary, again, not sure what it is. Is it ankle? Is it knee? Is it back? Who knows, right? This undisclosed injury stuff's getting kind of annoying because we don't really know what we're talking about here. But we do know he's on the PUP list, and that is not good news for any sort of Falcon fan out there. The hope is that he comes back sooner rather than later, and hopefully we'll have an update with a more detailed dive into his injury when more news is made available to both us and the national media. Okay. Who do you guys think wins the right tackle job in Atlanta? Like, do you have a guess? Is it going to be Kaleb McGary, or will it go ahead and be Jillian Mayfield? Type KM down below for Kaleb McGary. Or if you think it's going to be the rookie and he's going to ball out and I'm wrong, then type JM down below for Jillian Mayfield. I still think, though, I feel really confident it's going to go ahead and be Kaleb McGary. But give me your thoughts. KM for Kaleb McGary, JM for Jillian Mayfield down below in the comments section. All right, before we're going to move on to the next bit of news and rumors here on our video, we're so close to 3,000 subs here on our Atlanta Falcons Today channel, so help us out. We're 2,893 of you, so less than 200 away from getting us to the magic number of 3K. We appreciate all of you guys who have subscribed, but if you're not subscribed to the channel, to go down below and hit that red subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. You're going to get the latest and greatest Falcons news and rumors. I mean, we cover everything here on the channel, as well as mailbag questions we talked about earlier on in the video, so go down below and hit that red subscribe button. All right, let's jump into what I think is a great story, and I think it's very good news for all involved, including all the Falcon fans who are a little hesitant on Arthur Smith. Grady Jarrett was at the podium over the weekend and was asked about the differences between week 1 for Arthur Smith and then, of course, like a Dan Quinn practice, because Grady Jarrett's only really known Dan Quinn practices, and even though Arthur Smith has only had 1 full week as the head coach at training camp, not minus all the OTA stuff, Grady Jarrett seems very high on the Arthur Smith coaching style. Like, seems very, very in and bought into the I guess whatever Arthur Smith is pitching from a head coaching standpoint. Now, we're going to learn even more this week because, like I said, tomorrow the Falcons are putting the pads on, and that means they're going to get to hit each other, which I think Arthur Smith is very excited to see what his team is able to do. But more on Grady's thoughts on Smith. This is important, right? It's a quick quote. The media here in Atlanta kind of glanced over it, but I really liked it here. Throw it up on the screen. Quote, "It's deeper than the message, but putting the product in on the field, putting the work in. Arthur Smith made it clear we're not going to be about slogans and all this, whatever it may be. The toughest dude is going to play. There ain't no fluff," end quote. That's a great quote. That's from basically the leader of the defense in Grady Jarrett, one of the leaders of the entire football team. Arthur Smith's message is resonating. Like, that's what I take away from this. Arthur Smith's message is resonating. Remember Dan Quinn? He was talking about slogans and all these different next man up mentality, and he was just all about how turning negatives into positive. People weren't buying that, and it showed the past couple of years. I mean, they were not buying what Dan Quinn was selling in the ATL. From what I'm reading and what I'm hearing, this is not just Grady Jarrett, but other players, they're buying into the Arthur Smith message. Now, does that mean they're going to win a ton of games? No, it doesn't guarantee it, but it means you're going to get the most out of each and every player, which Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot have talked about all along. That was the goal. They know this roster is not going to be, top 5 in the National Football League, more than likely. They have some big holes that they need to fill with lesser-known guys or lesser-skilled players overall. But Smith's mentality of next man up, we're not about slogans, we're going to get the toughest dude out there, is resonating, and the hope is that the toughest dudes do play, and the Falcons put the best team they possibly can on the football field when it comes time for the Falcons to play week 1 on September 12th against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I like this thing. I like sharing this kind of stuff because it's a new head coach, it's a rookie head coach, but it's important to note that they're buying into what he's selling, and that is big, especially if you are a rookie head coach in the National Football League. Give me a grade on Arthur Smith's first week at camp. Like, week 1's in books. Maybe you're out there at Flowery Branch on Saturday. They had open practice for fans. Not a decent amount of fans were out there. Give me your grade on Arthur Smith's first week of training camp. A, B, C, D, or F. Like, I mean, for me, it's like pretty good. I mean, there were some injuries out there, the COVID-19 stuff and all the undisclosed, which is annoying. That's Arthur Smith's fault. I mean, you can't blame him for that. I'd give it a B+. I think it's good for the first week. We'll see how it progresses here once the pads go on tomorrow up there on Tuesday. All right, we'll go rapid fire here on some other Falcons camp notes, stuff that's not worthy to go ahead and jump into like a massive full write-up on, but some stuff you need to know as a Falcon fan. They have signed 2 new players, most notably wide receiver Jamon Moore. This is not anything exciting. I mean, Moore seems to be very much be a camp body. Will he be a practice squad guy? Will he make the roster? Unlikely. He played with the Packers throughout his career, and so not anything crazy here, but they signed Moore and then linebacker Skipper, who's an outside linebacker who, again, the odds of him making the roster and actually playing and not just being a camp body are slim, but they did sign 2 new people, so it's worth noting that they did do that. They did not get Justin Houston, who was a fan favorite, at least in terms of what the fans were hoping the Falcons would do from a pass rusher perspective. The Colts star has signed with the Baltimore Ravens on a 1-year deal, so much for Justin Houston coming to the Atlanta Falcons. Really could afford him anyway, but still, it's a bummer to note. A couple of notes from practice. A.J. McCarron and Feleipe Franks are really bad. Like, they've been struggling a lot, and the gap I'm hearing from Matt Ryan to, like, A.J. McCarron, it should be big, but apparently it's like massive. And so I don't know what they're going to do at the backup quarterback spot. I guess McCarron is going to win this battle, but there's no guarantee because he's been bad, and Feleipe Franks has been really bad as well. So no competition for Matt Ryan. Not that there was going to be any, but still worth noting. And finally, A.J. Torrell is looking pretty darn good. I mean, A.J. Terrell's had a great camp so far from what I'm hearing in the first week. I wonder if they would consider bringing in another quarterback. Like, when cuts start to happen, if they don't like McCarron or Franks, would they let them both go? Could McCarron lose his job to Feleipe Franks? I don't really know. I see this as McCarron probably wins the backup job, but just know that first week of practice, A.J. McCarron, for all the starts he had in Cincinnati, has looked pretty darn bad, according to all on-site reports at Flowery Branch, people that I have talked to. And then, as I mentioned, AJ Terrell has looked great. And I mean, he has really come into his own, even just from the first week of training camp. I think this kid's going to be a star. He was really good his rookie year, 16th overall draft pick. I think he's going to be even better here in year 2, to the point that people are shocked and surprised just how good this kid is actually going to turn out to be. A great pick out of Clemson there by the previous regime, which we got to give them a little bit of credit for drafting AJ Terrell. All right, ultimate for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. I am your host, Thomas Mott. All the time we have, we got to play more videos upcoming this week, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.